Smart automation, better business. Learn how to optimize your business with Solved.
Rundown of a few foundational frameworks here. So first one, AI. What are we talking about? AI has been around for a long time, but not in the same form. You mentioned this earlier. You were talking about how everybody thinks AI is ChatGPT. That is the type of AI we're going to be talking about today, also commonly referred to as a large language model. So this is kind of the new flashy kid on the AI block. All this is a network of it's matrix multiplication. It's a very, very large, complicated math problem that accepts inputs and then predicts the most likely next word to say. So the correct word to output. And so if you put in a whole sentence and you type, hey, this is what I need, give me a recipe for cookies, then it's going to start with the right first word, and then it's going to keep predicting the next word and the next word and the next word until finally the thing that it predicts is stop talking. And at that point, it'll kind of return to you in the speech bubble. If you're using ChatGPT, here's the answer to your question. So that is the long and short of how LLMs work at a very, very high level. I want to talk about these inputs for just a second. There are prompts, meaning the question that you ask, and also the context that you provide going in. These make a very big difference in the quality of the output that you get. So if you have a very context dependent question, like maybe you have someone that you want to make cookies for, they have a nut allergy, and you say, hey, I'd like to make cookies. That's your prompt. It's going to say, these are delicious walnut cookies. And you're going to say, well, that's not right. Clients and accounts and the people that you're working with in your business work the same way, your customers. There's a lot of things specific to them, specific to your business, specific to your industry, that it would be helpful to tell the AI to say, hey, these are all the things you got to keep in mind when you're answering this question. And so you can find that it actually can produce some really, really good results for you, not so generic as if you just answered a simple question, and get really specific and helpful. But you got to sit there and type forever to give it the right necessary context. So there's different ways of contextualizing models. So if you can save people time so they don't have to type in every detail, but rather use AI in a way where it can go get its own context and get the context that it needs to answer the question, combined with the prompt, which is, the user's question. And there's ways to phrase those that are more helpful than others. For instance, if the common prompt engineering trick is you tell it who to be. So you don't say pretend necessarily, you say you are an expert in marketing. And then you ask your marketing question. You're actually going to get a much better result than if you just ask the question. So there's some skills and some science to prompting well. And then there's a lot of tools that are able to pull in context so that you can get much more helpful information without having to sit there and type a novel. So there's lots of ways for business owners to get in touch with us, and lots of ways where we can help out. If somebody were to go through that checklist and identify a gap, we can help with that specifically. If you were to have them or yourself fill out the contact us form and just let us know which item on the list that you'd want an assist with. And then we also can play the role of being the internal owner. So one of the items on the checklist is someone in the organization, this is top down, someone in the organization owns the outcome of automating the business.
Okay.
Sometimes an internal stakeholder is the best to do that. Sometimes firms like to bring in somebody else. So we've got a subscription offering, and I mentioned that a little bit earlier. This is the team that I manage, where we've got many, many months of experience helping organizations automate and managing support for them. So happy to play that role as well. We also have on the homepage on AI expertise, there's this webinar sign up, which is this, and then the AI Adoption Accelerator Workshop we're going to go through the frameworks that I showed really quick in much greater detail, and then give a company by the end, they would have kind of in 1 day workshop, have a tool selected, guided onboarding, training for them, training materials so they can train their people, provide templated policies, terms of service adjustments. We're not lawyers, so of course, we want lawyers to take a look at that, but it's a starting point. And then be able to walk through the proven best practices in all of those areas that I mentioned, guides for choosing an automation framework, data integration systems, prompting, when to use what. There's a whole lot, but we try and streamline the process of getting up to speed.
Okay.
So
that's good to know.
Feel free. Yeah. Keep us in mind if we can be helpful. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to help you automate your business. Please like, comment, or subscribe for more.